Welcome everybody to this morning show, I guess. We are actually tonight's show, if you're in the Philippines or Australia or that route, and it's in middle of the afternoon if you're over in the UK, like Sinai and Sofia in Portugal. But yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming on board wherever you're at. This morning we're talking about bots, and we got the expert for bots that are out there. And right now, some of you are going, "What's a bot?" So we're going to get to that and see what else unveils during this discussion. But for right now, let's all welcome, big round of applause. I can hear you out there for Michael De Los Santos. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi to the Facebook Live viewers. And yeah, it's great to be here in Facebook Live with you. It's
Yeah,
very hot.
it's amazing what we can do nowadays, and I'm always amazed. Being 54 years old, I'm always amazed at how far we've come. So let's dive into it. Why don't you tell the people, for those that don't know you, why don't you tell them who you are, where you're at, and then we'll dive into the bots.
Yeah, actually, I've been working with different people in outside the Philippines, in the U.S., different countries with bots. So I help coaches, online course creators create uh, adventures inside Messenger using chatbots and Facebook ads. So that's what I've been doing for a couple of months, couple of years now. So I'm here in the Philippines. It's quite really hot here. It's summer. It's around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. That's in degrees. It's 30 degrees. So you can see me sweating.
I thought that
Yeah.
was just all the nerves. No, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, I'm really sweating. It's not the nerves, but really
Yeah,
it's hot here right
got
now. And
some
then
shit
next
going
month
on.
it's wet season, so it's almost every day you can hear
Wow.
raindrops.
Wow. Wow. Well, things grow very well then. And for those of us that have the hair that gets really like bling, yeah, that'd be wonderful right now. I'd probably be walking around with like kind of an afro thing going on. The few hairs that I have. But let's dive into the bots. We've all
Yes.
experienced them. We've got, whether you know that or not, some people are like, "What's a bot?" And then I explain to them, and they're like, "Oh, that's not a real person." I'm like, "Nope, nope." And we'll get into a little bit later. First, let's explain about bots, but then later on, let's talk about like how to really use them properly, so you
Oh,
don't dumb down your client. But explain for the people what a bot is.
okay, yeah. So a bot really is a tool. It's a it's the automated messages or triggers inside Messenger. Okay, it's only a tool. So it's a tool for us to deploy messenger marketing strategies. So what's really messenger marketing? Okay, so that's the real question of that. So what's messenger marketing, right? So messenger marketing is the act of marketing to your prospects, to your customers using a messaging app. For example, Messenger, the Facebook Messenger. So the tool to deploy these strategies is called is the chatbots. Okay, so chatbots is just the tool to deploy messenger marketing strategies. So it's automated messages. There's a trigger of the messages inside the messenger. Okay, so that's really a basic definition of a chatbot. Okay, inside messenger. So
Right.
it's really kind of a very hard to explain unless you show it how it works in messenger. But really that's really the basic definition of a chatbot.
And it's basically like having a virtual assistant that's non-existent, but you're going to set it up, right? We set these things up as far as how we have certain responses. I know in some cases, people have it that if you go on, and I've experienced them, and now I kind of mess with them a little bit, but you go on to someone's Facebook page, and it might say, hey, talk to someone live now, and they click on that, and you get into that chat box, and then you're going to, and right away they may give you an offer or something of that sort, and then you click through to that. But we've all experienced them in some form or fashion, whether you know it or not. But the if used properly, we can get them on an email list. We can get them on, somehow get their information so that we can contact them in the future somehow too.
Yeah.
Right?
So to add with that, so why it's really important for coaches, speakers to check about chatbots, really. So the one reason is email is too crowded. That's really one of the basic reason. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Email is too crowded right now.
And you can
Unlike
get blocked. I mean, Gmail has done that for many years already, where it's like all of a sudden I haven't received your email. What's going on? Check your spam file.
yes,
They may automatically just block it based upon the email address or something of that sort, or they just don't like you.
but we don't say email is dead. Email is still there.
Right.
Okay, but as a business operating online or marketing online, you need to have a different platform that will be added to your arsenal of marketing tools, that
Mm-hmm.
so that you can reach people that you really want to reach in a more effective way. Then you can still have a email list, but using chatbots, you now have a different platform reaching them aside of email. Yes.
Right.
So, and then second reason with that is, well, I'm guilty with this, but people are tired of opting in into a landing page. So, and then, but if they do, they try not to, they fail to open the automated messages inside their email, because I mean inbox, because basically their inbox is too crowded. So that's the second reason of why why they need to check out chatbots. And then I think the third reason is, right now, for this is for the people who are planning to run ads with chatbots, Facebook ads specifically with chatbots, and or to those people uh, who are running right now ads. So it's way cheaper right now running ads with chatbots, because you don't need to require people to go outside the Facebook platform. It's
Sure.
easier to get people's information, their email, their location inside Messenger. Okay, because the information for people when they sign up for Facebook, it's readily available when they go inside Messenger. So you can just ask, okay, what's your email? You can immediately extract if they want to. They opt in. So it's it's easier for people to opt in. It's cheaper right now, because
Yeah.
you don't need to require them to go outside Facebook.
And you can incorporate a chat bot like within a live too, a Facebook Live, or when you're going on there, you can incorporate that into it by having them go into the comments and leave. You can use it as a trigger, right?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, because you mentioned about Facebook Live and chatbot, so we can talk about what really the things chatbots can do to a
Yeah,
business for
yeah.
a.
Get some of those in here.
So yeah, I think the most basic one is they can receive signups, like the lead sign up for a lead magnet inside Messenger. Okay, well, a chatbot can say, "Do you want to get my free ebook?" And then the other person, the other side can say, "Yeah, yeah." I would like to get that. Then the chatbot will say, yeah, give me your name. I mean, give me your email. So they'll give your email. Then the chatbot can deliver the lead magnet inside Messenger immediately at that instant. So aside of the lead magnet, the chatbot can also receive signups for your webinar, for your masterclass, and then when the webinar is coming, you can send notifications inside Messenger, so you can synchronize the
Mhm.
sign ups, the notifications inside the Messenger platform without using well, basically you can still use email, but
Sure.
you
But it
can.
makes it a lot easier because you're doing it. It's like having, like I said before, it's like having a virtual assistant. So if you're doing a Facebook Live and you have these triggers set up, you can just focus on doing the interview or doing the live or however you're doing it, and they're going in and you're having these triggers in the comments, and then that goes into the chatbot, and then that takes over as far as sending that out. So it's
Yes.
like having that personal assistant or that producer off to the side doing all the busy work while you're just having a great time on Facebook Live.
Yeah, and one thing is, you can also pre-qualify your leads, the people that comes into your Facebook page, to your business. You can pre-qualify them
Really?
by asking them questions. And if to be more engaging, you can ask them to, hey, I have a quiz. Do you want to participate in this quiz? So while
Mm,
they're entertained doing that quiz, at the background you're trying to pre-qualify them, that is it really the best
sure.
lead. So you can, and then you can segment your list, your messenger list, that okay, these people are the best ones, these people needs more nurturing. So that's one strategy, or one thing that a chatbots can do. And then the most popular thing is, you can send, or you can uh, give or create a welcome message when people try to message your Facebook page. So it's a welcome message that, okay, hi there, Michael. I'm welcome to the Facebook page. I'm Michael's body chatbot. So what do you like to want to do? What do you like to do right now? So it's a welcome message for people who will message you for the first time in Facebook page. So while you're sleeping, there's someone out there in your Facebook page standing by, ready to uh, get more leads for your business.
Sure. Yeah,
So
and if now it sounds like it's really complicated.
yeah, it
So
sounds complicated, yeah,
so
but
how difficult, and this is great for a solopreneur. So I mean, if they're doing utilizing this, now they have basically a virtual assistant, like I said before, that's going to be working for them while they're sleeping. So if they don't have to miss a lead or something while they're sleeping, they don't have to, miss any of those sales possibilities that are there, because we are global now. Like you're in the Philippines, I'm over here in the United States, middle of the United States, and it's like now it's like there's different time periods, and so we don't want to miss out on the possibility of selling a product or even getting a coaching client if they're a coach like I am. So how how difficult is it for someone to set one of these up?
honestly, there's really a learning curve here,
Sure.
because it's a new platform. It's kind of new to everyone. Okay, so there are courses out there, even ManyChat is a tool that helps
Mhm.
people to create chatbots. Okay, so it's a tool that takes out the coding side. So you
Right.
can it's a friendly tool that helps people that don't know how
Right.
to code create a chatbot. Because
Right.
back to the days, Without these tools, you really need a coder, a programmer to create a
Yeah.
chatbot. Right now, because of Facebook's initiatives opening their invite their ecosystem for programmers, so these tools help people like us don't know how to code to create chatbots. So it's easier to create chatbots, but there's a learning curve that you really need to focus. Okay, the what really what's to where to sign up, what buttons to click, what really actually okay, what's the next thing to do or after this. So the good thing is, I think that ManyChat has a free 10 plus hours of of a course, of a video course
Mhm.
that they created. I think a month ago. I
Yeah.
think April, I
Yep.
guess they created a free course or free for people like us, for those who don't know how to code, who don't know how to create a chatbot. So
Right.
you can visit ManyChat's blueprint of ManyChat's free course. It includes blueprints of what strategies you can follow. You can uh, follow for your Facebook page for your business. So it's back in the days. It's very hard, but now it's better. It's more
Yeah. Yeah.
friendly for us.
And there's and if you're overwhelmed by technology, not everybody is like, oh, I want to do this for myself. They can hire someone like you, correct?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and
So they can hire someone like you and say, hey, this is my business. This is, and you can then start working the system and go, okay, this, I know what can work, what doesn't work. And so it's like you, by hiring you, um, you can overcome all those obstacles faster, obviously. You don't have
yes,
to think all of that through.
and to make it easier for you to for someone out there who wants to go with chatbots, to make it easier, so you need to really think what's the thing that you want to accomplish using chatbots. That's
Mhm.
the one thing.
Yeah.
So and then you need to study what really there are, because chatbots are just tools. If you don't know how to use them, how they works,
Right.
it won't give you results. So
Yep.
the first thing is you really know what to do, or what's the end of mind of doing chatbots.
Right.
And if you decided, okay, I'll just create it by my own, it's more easier because you have now the path. Okay, I want to I want to I want to achieve this. So what's really
Yeah.
I need to study in
And,
chatbots?
and ultimately, you want it to be conversational. You want to grasp their attention. So you don't want to dumb it down as far as, hi, this is April and I'm here to help you. And it's like, I personally, I like the ones that are a little bit more cheeky, that kind of go, hey, you know what? I'm not a real person, but I can help you,
Yes.
and then start giving those options, because then it's like, okay, I know I'm not going to be waiting on hold. Yesterday, I'll give you a great example. Yesterday, I went into a website and there was the chat area and I had a couple of questions. So I go on there and I log in, my email address, my name, and then it says, oh, you're in the queue and you are the next one in the queue, and your waiting time is about 1 minute. 15 minutes later, because I was like, I'm just going to let it run, while I'm doing other stuff. So 15 minutes later, someone came out and said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was out to lunch. I didn't, I'm so glad that you hung around and waited, because obviously they see that you've been sitting there for 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay. It would have been a lot easier if there was a chat bot in there, at least having a conversation along the way. What do you know? Are you, asking some questions? I can answer those questions. And then we're, like you said before, we're fielding it down. We're narrowing it down. What is this guy? What is Dave here for? So it would have been a lot easier if there was a chat bot that was in there.
Yeah, and basically, it's the it's good thing you mentioned that, because there are things that people miss, or how, or in doing chatbots. So they try to consider chatbots like emails, okay,
Hmm.
and then they try to not to say that they are chatbots. They try to make it very human. They try
Yeah.
to impress that, okay, this is a human. This is a human from the other end. So that's one of the uh, wrong wrongdoings in doing
Yeah.
chatbots. So
Yeah.
you you try not to consider chatbots like email. Try not to humanize it, because
Right.
it's really not human. So
And don't, yeah, because your client is one of the smartest people in the world. And you don't want to
yes,
lose a client or a prospect because you're making it some trying to build this illusion. We want to look behind the curtain and see Oz. We don't want to just sit there and go, oh, the great wizard is back there. We so don't dumb it down at all. And I got to remind people, if there's any questions that you have for Michael, throw them into the comment section. That we will definitely bring them up there so Michael can answer those along the way. So yeah, I agree totally. Make it an obvious thing because people aren't dumb. And so when you're setting up this conversation, and there's trigger words, correct?
yes, there are trigger words. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So talk to us about some of the trigger words that are would be within a conversation.
The most basic thing is you can create buttons inside Messenger aside of the trigger words. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there are buttons like, hey Michael, do you want this new video that we created about something? Just click the or tap the button below, yes or no. When they tap yes, that means that's a trigger that they want the next message, they want the content. Now your chatbot learns that, okay, oh, you want the next content, then I will send you the next message. So that's one trigger. Second trigger is the words, or a phrase inside the messages. So you can use triggers like yes, a unique phrase. It depends on your business. What do you
Right.
want? What do you want?
And you're
So
going to lead them with questions. So like
yes,
you said, do you want my latest ebook? Yes or no? It's going to be yes or it's going to be no. And if they hit no, that can take them down another conversation.
yeah, you can. Oh, do you? Okay, you don't want. Maybe you want this. It makes that.
Yeah.
So now it's more engaging, more personal. That's why it's chatbots is
Yep.
more
And it,
preferred
and it
right
can be
now.
as easy as no. And then it's like, oh, so are you here to set up an appointment for a discovery call or something of that sort? I mean, it could take you down that road, and both paths can take you down the same road at some point. But it could be something as simple as, yeah, yes, I'd like to set up a discovery call. And then it takes you to the calendar, and then they can set up the appointment. You wake up the next morning, you're like, oh my gosh, I have 3 discovery calls this afternoon. While I was sleeping, I got 3 discovery calls. It can be as simple as that.
Yes, and you can insert your own personality there, because Messenger is there's an interaction, there's engagement, it's instantaneous. So the customer journey from a cold person and into a very warm lead, it's very fast, because the messages that you receive, that you send, is instantaneous. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's totally different animal with email, because it's one to many. Unlike with Messenger, it's almost one to one. It's personalized.
Right. And when you get up the next morning, if this happens overnight, I mean, it can happen during the day while you're teaching, while I'm teaching a webinar today. It can be happening in the background, and then all of a sudden I go back to my Facebook page and Messenger, and ooh, I have all these messages, to answer, and then I can either respond live or something of that sort, or just pick up depending upon where it's at. If they already booked an appointment, Now I can go back and thank them and personally thank them or something of that sort.
Yes, yes. And actually, I also the good thing is, even if the person won't give you the exact answers,
Yeah.
you can check at the end of the day that, okay, who messaged me? Are they sending the right words? Are they clicking the right buttons? Then you can go inside there and can say, hi, this is the true Michael. What do you want me to do for you?
Right.
So
Or
that's what I
I've
did. Yeah.
I've responded back with if someone just is, I mean, because I do it too. You get in there and you all of a sudden they try to make it that it's a human. So then I start kind of messing with the bots a little bit. No, I'm here to buy a new car. What's going on? Do you have a red one or a blue? I might do that. And I've gotten those on my receiving end of that, and I'll respond back to them and say, "Oh, I think that was pretty cheeky that you're messing with the chat bot, but hey, now I'm here live. How can I help you? I really want to see you succeed in life. So how can I help you?" And then they'll be like, whoa, what's happening? But you get those messages so you can have that availability to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
And the other
really,
thing is,
that's
like you said before, how you can make these um, be in your own voice. You
yes,
know
correct.
how you talk. That's how you can fashion your statements that come back. That the responses and the questions, you can put it in your own voice. So it's like, hey, what's up, girl? You can put that in there, and it's like they'll be like, whoa, this is kind of cool. It's
And
not so robotic.
yes, and the really one of the most important thing with chatbots is that they help you initiate that initial conversation with the person. Okay,
Hmm.
that's really the most important thing with chatbots. So as a coach, as a speaker, so you really want to have that conversation while you're sleeping or while you're away, right? So you need to
Hmm.
have that virtual assistant with you while you're sleeping. So that's one of the importance with chatbots. Even if you just created the very basic chatbot, the important thing is you create that initial conversation with that particular person. And
Right.
then after the end of the day, you can follow it up with the real you. So that's the good thing with chatbots. It can help you.
Yeah.
Depends on your business.
Well, yeah, exactly. And honestly, it works in virtually every business if it's set up properly.
Yes.
If
And
they hire a pro like you that knows all that, no, you don't want to go that route. You want to stick this way with your responses and things like that. If they hire a pro like you, then it's like you lessen that learning curve that you have to go through.
yes,
Why things aren't working, right? Because you've already done all those things.
correct.
Um, with the responses, how do you get how do you go through if you're working one-on-one with a client? How do you initially start interviewing them as far as learning what their responses might be to kind of put it in their voice? Or do you have them write those responses, or how do you do that?
Actually, it's a combination with the client and me. So the first thing I ask is what do you want to do? What's the end point of this?
Okay.
So if they say, okay, I just want to uh, uh, grow my list, grow my email list or messenger list, and then okay, so what kind of lead magnet we're trying to market here, or try to promote here? So that's and then okay, then I asked him what's what's the typical scenario? How do you talk to your clients in front in a coffee table? So that's where the conversation starts. So okay, what's I we try to mimic the actual conversation of that person, of that client, to a
Sure.
real person, to the chatbot. So that's how I work with clients.
Nice.
So first thing is okay, how what do you want to do? And then how do you talk to a client in person? So that I we can insert your personality inside the chatbot. But there are things that you need to consider too, because there are pretty a lot of possibilities you can talk to a person, but really uh, the most basic conversation that you have with a client, or the lead for that
Yeah.
person. So that's how a chatbot is created with a client. So it's really depends on their business goals and their how they communicate with that person
Right.
to the person to the other side, because when it's really important that what the chatbot says reflects to your business,
Right.
because it's totally a turn off that if a person talks to a chatbot, and then time comes that that person will talk to you, to the actual person, so it's kind of different.
Yeah. No,
So
it's totally different. And you want to make sure that totally agree, because you want to make sure that that is in your voice. The
yes,
chatbot
in
is
your
in your
voice.
voice, so that it just is equals you, instead of like taking them and being very, because I've been in a couple of websites where they're very like the chatbot is very conversational, very, and then you talk to the individual, you set up an appointment, you talk to the individual, and they're just like very withdrawn, or they're very, it's the opposite. So it's like almost they invented the chatbot, or they had someone create the chatbot of how they want to be, but not how they are. So it's like, I think it has to equal how you are as a solopreneur.
Yeah, so that's really one of the basic things that you need to consider in
Yeah.
building a chatbot. It needs to chatbot is your tool. The chatbot will not control you.
Yeah.
Okay, you
And
will control the chatbot.
yeah, and the other thing that I think that is really important here is we comparing it to an email. Because if you think of how we respond to an email, we used to use email like we use Messenger now. We tried to as much, but it pops up into a thing. You have to go into your email, whether you're using Gmail or whatever it is, Outlook. It's like you have to go in there, and now you're going to look through, and you have to weed through all those emails. Yeah, I probably spend a third of my day deleting emails. Even after I've unsubscribed to them, I'm still deleting them because they don't unsubscribe, right? So it's like we used to use that as much as a conversation, but that's such a delay there. It could be, hours later, or a day later, or even longer before you find that one. You go, oh my gosh, I didn't, or you read it and you go, I didn't respond to it. Whereas I know with Messenger, I see it. When I go on Facebook, I look, boom, it's right there. It pops up. I know that it's there. So I'm almost forced to have a conversation with that person right away. And that I like it a lot, because
And
that interaction is forced on me. So I do it, and then it's gained me sales.
yeah, I would like to give a tip. So, because you mentioned about not comparing Messenger to chatbots, I mean Messenger to emails.
Emails, yeah.
So, what I've learned from my peers, to my colleagues who are also working with chatbots, is try to control the number of characters that you send. Try to control it in around 160 characters, just like text.
Oh,
So you can don't some people, I don't know if it's effective to them. Some people try to copy the whole email and then put that in chatbot. So okay, people don't message like that in Messenger, right? So when you try to converse inside Messenger, you receive small bits of text, or small groups of characters. So what you do is your message, if you're doing email, if you're trying to send it via Messenger, I mean via chatbots, so try to slice it in a different, or try to rewrite it so that you can chop it in different groups, you can limit it in 160 characters or 200 characters, but still the message is still the same. Just try to limit it in small groups so that that person on the other side can slowly digest it, just like conversing in messenger. That, okay, hi Dave, do you want to have some this? So it's more conversational, not like
Yeah.
sending the whole email inside messenger.
Right. Yeah, it's more conversational than it is dry like an email would be.
So that's why you ask questions, get their answers, and then respond based on their answer. Then you
Right.
ask questions again. So it's
Right.
conversational.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. We have Michelle. By the way, Michelle says hi. Michelle says, great topic, especially now that Facebook has lifted the pause on those bots. Yeah, because they were frozen for a while because Facebook went through that whole
Fiasco.
privacy issue and all that good stuff, which that's a whole nother show.
Yes.
Don't get me
Yeah.
started on that.
Okay, but let's give a brief warning to those people who wants to start with chatbots. So Facebook is really into this messenger thing. So
Mhm.
they are really monitoring the messenger ecosystem. So if they find out that you're violating the terms of service in using chatbots, and they find out that people are reporting your chatbots of spamming, or they you
Right.
try to annoy them with your messages, they will shut down your
Right.
page or
Right.
flag your page. So it's you
Yep.
need to be careful with that. So
And it's
yeah,
happened before with people that have like are doing Facebook Live and they have thousands of people watching and they initiate for the chat bot and then all of a sudden people go into there and all of a sudden I've experienced that before on different ones. That all of a sudden it's like things are like frozen in that account or something of that sort because all of a sudden there was just an inundation of messaging that was going in and out of your Facebook. So you do have to be careful on that.
yeah, you need to be careful, balance it out, not to annoy your subscribers. So
Right.
you need to balance it out with the content that you send, the
Yep.
frequency that you send. So you know your audience. So try to balance it out. So
Right.
the each message that you sent on your messenger and your subscribers in your messenger, you need to consider, is this message gives a lot of value? Will this give sense to the person to the other side? So try to think a lot before sending that message, because
Yeah.
if Facebook finds out, there's no point of return.
Right. And there's you're gonna have to spend time setting this up if you do it yourself. I mean, there's a
Yes.
lot. So that's where it comes in hiring a professional like yourself, an expert. It's like you can kind of go, oh, we don't want to go down that road because now this is going to happen. This could possibly happen with Facebook shutting you down and we don't want that because that's going to reverse everything that we're working towards. So that's where coming in and working with an expert like you really is handy. Versus, and you can do it on your own. I mean, you can
Yes.
experiment on your own, and like everything that's out there, there's a Facebook page and there's YouTube videos, and you can do it on your own if you want to do that. But I always ask, even clients are like, "Oh, I should get the latest, greatest thing." So in this case, chatbots. I should get a chatbot on my, and I'm going to go on. I'm going to learn how to do chatbots, and I'm like, do you want to teach someone about chatbots? And it's like, no, I just think I should have it. And I'm like, well, then hire somebody because you're going to spend a lot of, it's like going to school again. And you're going to spend a lot of time and sweat equity. And even if it's free videos on YouTube, by the time you see that free video, it's already changed, you know? So it's like, getting an expert like yourself, that's where that comes in way more handy. You can do it faster, easier, and you can get people up and running like very quickly versus trying to learn all this themselves.
Yeah, and it saves a lot of time,
Yeah.
money, and tears.
Yeah. And the
Tears from
technology changes all the time.
yes,
I
it
mean, we're
changes
talking
all
about
the time.
chatbots now, and 3 years ago, were you talking about chatbots?
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
and
So
Facebook right now is constantly changing the ecosystem within Messenger, so it's kind of a wild west right now. That
yeah.
okay, from tomorrow another change,
Yeah.
another week
It,
another change. So
it changes. Yeah, because they're in the business to make money too. That's what
that's
one of the aspects that cracks me up when Mark went in front of the Senate in the United States here. I'm like going, it's a business, people. It's a business. Um, and they're in the business to make money. So that's why in Messenger we see ads now in Messenger. There's different things that you can do. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to create a rapport on some level. It's just the stepping stone in, but it's like this is a great way to create rapport with a prospect or a client, that you can wake up to the next morning. Or if you're doing something like today, I'm going to be doing webinars all day long, so I'm not going to be able to check in with Facebook or Messenger. So on a break or coming out of the first session, I might go, oh, I'll check that, and it's like I might have messages there to respond to.
yeah,
So
and while you during speaking engagements, when
mhm.
while you're speaking in front of people, you can collect their information while you're speaking. Just show your messenger code, and then when they scan it, they will be inside your chatbot. Then
Really?
you can converse they can converse your attendees inside the chatbot, and then you can get their name, their email, their information. Because
Wow.
I heard that I think I heard with other speakers that
Yeah.
some people won't, or some of the organizers won't share the attendees list. So okay, there's messenger code. You can show it to
Sure.
them
Sure.
in during the presentation, and you can
Yeah.
ask them scan this, and then I will give you the template, or the presentation
Yeah.
soft copy, or a lead
Right.
magnet. So you can do
Download
that too.
download my PowerPoint today, and it's like you just send them off to the
The
messenger, and
messenger.
then they can download that. But then in exchange for obviously that, you're going to get their email address and a name.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they interact with your chatbot, they're subscribed. Then
Yeah.
you ask them, would you like to be on my list? Would you like to receive notifications from me, content from me? When they say yes, yeah, okay, they're in
Yeah.
the list. So you
Yeah.
can do that during speaking engagement. That's one of the
Yeah.
power of chatbots.
Speaking of chatty, Michelle is chatty this morning. She woke up early for this. Yeah. Yes. My time is worth too much. Hire it out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm a big proponent on that. So, um, how does, and you may or may not know this, but I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you with it anyway. How do the new privacy laws that are in place in Europe and Facebook is actually incorporating all these right now? So they're not waiting for the United States to jump on board with privacy laws, and Canada has these in place now too. How do the new privacy laws? Do you have to put a disclaimer then in, or how does that work at this point?
So what I know is for the tool that I'm using, it's called ManyChat. It's a tool that creates chatbots.
Mhm.
So what they trying to do right now is they try to create a tool or a feature inside their platform, so that it will be more, so that your chatbot will be compliant to the new law in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, in Europe, right? So because of that, there's that new
Yep.
law. So they're trying to create a feature so that your chatbot will be compliant. So
Yeah.
I won't try to explain it very
Yeah. No, that's fine.
deeply, but
So
the
they're already incorporating that, so there's a safeguard there, so that you can't be non-compliant.
yes,
So it's similar
they're
to, yeah, because all of them are doing it. Mailchimp's doing it with email, Infusionsoft, and all those are incorporating that because they don't want it to come back on them either, being non-compliant. And honestly, the compliancy laws that are going into effect will eliminate all the bad seeds because we don't want to be smoke and mirrors like, hey, get my ebook. Oh, psych. Now you're on my email list and you can't get off. It's like, no, we don't want to do that because you're taking advantage of a person that could be paying you money down the road. So don't, yeah, be upfront and honest with those people anyway. Yeah, totally.
it's
But that's good.
thing
That's it. So it's in place with many chat. Wow, it's difficult for me to talk right now, I guess.
So they're trying to figure out how to be compliant with the
Yeah.
new laws right now. I don't want to explain it thoroughly, but yeah,
Yeah,
they're
no,
trying
that's
to figure it out.
perfect. As long as there's something in place, that's because I'm sure people are asking that in their minds. They're going, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting inundated from," because every company that I have Mailchimp, all those. I mean, they're all Google. Everybody's bombarding with these compliancy, and you got to check the box. Yes, I read this and I understand it, and all that good stuff. So they're all hitting us up with those. So we want to make sure that we are compliant. But as long as that's in place, then we don't have to really concern ourselves other than that it's out there.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And of course, you can walk them through all of that.
Yeah, I can guide them during the creation of the chatbot, how to be compliant, how to be more how to be trustworthy with the person with the other side.
Yeah. And and like I said before, and Michelle's in agreement with that too, as far as hiring someone just saves you so much time and effort in that too. But if for some reason you have $0, you can go and create these yourself. It's just a learning curve. It's like anything. You're going to have to involve a lot of sweat equity and hours to it to get it to work properly. So, that's the only other aspect. So you can do it on your own if you want to, but if you want to get there faster, you hire somebody, right? That's the key to that success. So how did they contact, if they want to hire you, how do they contact you?
So they can message me in Facebook. I'm always there, and I think I give you the link to my chatbot. So if they want to experience what really chatbot is, so try to access that link, and my chatbot will converse to you. So
Okay.
and my chatbot will give you a free PDF. So it's about how to use chatbots to convert your Facebook Lives into a lead generation machine.
Yeah.
So if you want that, try to access that link. So a chatbot will talk to you, will ask you, do you want that do you want that free PDF?
Yeah.
Then you will also try to experience the how chatbot works. So basically, that's a link to a chatbot.
Yeah. So that'll show you how the system works in that. Michelle is, look at that. Bots make my head spin. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully in a good way. But yeah, it's like having a virtual assistant. So it gives you the ability to create those leads or create those. We're basically using them to get a lead of some sort so that we can now have a conversation with that person. And that's really what chatbots are designed for. And to give information. Some use, some corporate aspects will use them as far as giving information and that, but you're getting a lead of some sort. They're going to ask you for an email address or some way to contact you. So is there other ways? Do we always ask for an email address?
The other thing is they provide customer support. One of the other companies that I know, customer support. What else? Uh, they can also set up a schedule. For example, a discovery call inside the messenger, not sending to a scheduling page. So
Okay.
it's kind of complicated in setting up, but it's possible.
Sure.
So so you can also
So
get
if you have products, like if you had a product, let's just say Logitech with their different, if you have webcams and video camcorders and microphones, you can, like, the first question is, hey, thanks for coming in here. Is your question pertaining to webcams, video recorders, or microphones? And then it's like microphones. Oh, great. So which model are we talking about? You can do as simple as that. Now, is it this model, A, B, or C? And then they pick B, and then it's like, okay, now we talk about B. Hey, what's your question that I can help you with today? All of a sudden, it's like you take them to the right place. And then you can always field that. I mean, as far as a corporation or a company, if you have product itself, you can then field that into that area or get that to a person of that expertise that can talk about that specific problem then, or that
yeah.
product, I should say.
So that's called in the e-commerce world. I think that they call it conversational commerce.
Yeah.
So they try to converse before you buy something.
Sure.
So
Narrowing it down.
Mhm. You can e-commerce products. You can use chatbots too. You can follow up them.
And with my clients, I always explain to them, this is a great way, because if you use bots, you can always, same thing with us. You can say, if you do speaking, if you have a book, if you are a coach, you can say, hey, thanks for coming on board here. Is your question, I know you probably have a question deep inside you. So is your question pertaining to scheduling me for a speaking gig? Is it for picking up my latest book? Or is it for just personal one-on-one coaching with me? And then they pick one, and now you can put them into this room, or this room. And then you can have even a further conversation then with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
Even can I say the other name? Even
Yeah.
Tony Robbins use chatbots. If you try to go to his page, send a message, a chatbot will talk to you.
Yeah.
So you can try to.
That is ideal example, because Tony Robbins uses the latest technology. That's all Tony does, is he uses the latest technology. He is on board with whatever you have to sell that's going to communicate with prospects. So that's a great example.
So if someone there trying to figure out what chatbots are and how chatbot works, you can check out Tony Robbins' Facebook page and message him. A chatbot will talk to you.
Yeah.
You can play around.
And you can you can mess with them, or you can be really, you can be legit with them in that. But either way, they're going to get your information somehow.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So that they can contact you or have someone contact you. If you start asking them a question about, personal coaching, one-on-one coaching, that they're going to throw you into his coaching group that are there, that went through his coaching training. And then, it takes you down different roads that way. He is very advanced. He pays a lot of money to have the top people in that industry for developing and ongoing technology of that sort.
Yeah, so it really depends on the business that you are right now. So
exactly.
It's what you need, and then chatbot will respond to that. So it's not what chatbots can do, and you try to.
Right.
It's different way around. So it's what you need, and try to use chatbots to use that to go to your goals, get your business goals.
Right.
Really
you work from the end goal, and bring it back home. You chunk it down and take those conversations and that the way you want to go with them. Great. We're coming up to the end of our time together, and so people can contact you by doing the So getting on, I'm going to paste that one more time on there. Bam. There we go. You can just copy and paste that in Chrome, Explorer, wherever, and that'll take you right to your chat bot, and then they can contact you that way. Otherwise, do you have an email address if some people are like afraid of that? I don't know why they contact you if they're afraid of it, but
they can just contact me, send me a message directly to my Facebook profile,
okay.
or I'm just there. I can respond immediately. Or if they really want an email, so you want me to mess around with your inbox,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you can Michael.dlsantos at Gmail. I use Gmail, so Michael.dlsantos@gmail.com.
So Michael D. L. Santos at gmail.com.
Yes, Michael.dlsantos@gmail.com.
Michael dot. Okay, Michael period DL Santos at gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay,
Perfect.
if
Perfect.
they really want an email.
The old email way. Yeah, you're the high tech guy. So it's like your response time to emails are probably going to be a lot slower than Messenger, right?
I always go to my email and then
Yeah.
Messenger, so it's
Yeah.
almost the same.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then you're better than me. I check my emails probably twice, maybe 3 times a day, where otherwise Messenger, I'm like right there. It's like, so if you want to get a hold of me, it's like, hit me up on Messenger and I'll respond to you way faster than anything else. It's just, and it's so quick and automatic. So yeah, most definitely.
Well, basically, that's the reason why people need to check out chatbots.
Yeah.
Because people try to prefer use Messenger.
And Michelle's giving you some love. She appreciates your expertise. So
yeah, Michelle, yes.
Yeah. So thanks, Michelle. Thanks for everybody coming on today. Michael, stick around, and we'll chat a little bit after here. But for everybody else, either you're starting your day or you're ending your day or you're somewhere in between. But thanks for coming on board, and check out Michael and throw him a message. There you go. And and this will be up and for the replay for everybody else that's still sleeping. You can watch this replay later and enjoy and get some information. But for everybody else, have a great day or evening. See you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on board.
Bye-bye.